Hello everybody, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert teachers here at E2 Language and E2 School. If you haven't seen those websites, do check them out. What we're going to do in this live class is look at PTE speaking and PTE pronunciation for South Asian speakers. These languages include Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Nepali, Sinhala, Divehi, Gujarati, Marathi, Oriya, Assamese, Kashmiri, Sindhi, and Punjabi. So if you speak any of these languages, this class is going to be helpful for you. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the differences between English and your first language and some of the issues you have when you're trying to speak English and some of the pronunciation issues in particular. So we're going to focus in on those issues to help you improve your pronunciation so you can sound more like a native speaker, and if you're taking a test, get a higher score in your test, okay? So, by the way, if you speak Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, or Malayalam, we're going to do that in the next class for Dravidian language speakers. So if you're not yet a subscriber to this YouTube channel, do click that subscribe button and become one right away. Okie dokie, let's start with the main differences between English and South Asian languages. First of all, in English, there are 22 vowel sounds like a, e, o, a, etc. In South Asian languages, there are only 10 vowel sounds. So we have 12 more vowel sounds that you don't have. So obviously, when you're speaking English from your South Asian language, you're going to have some issues with some of these vowel sounds. We're going to look at those vowel sounds in particular. Now, in English, we have 24 consonant sounds, k, d, f, m, etc. But you actually have 30 consonant sounds. You have more than in English. However, there are some consonant sounds, for example, v and w, that you have trouble pronouncing. So we're going to look at those ones in particular as well. Okie dokie, let's get started and look at the vowel sounds for South Asian speakers. All right, these are all the single vowel sounds in English. These ones in green, you have no problems pronouncing. For example, E as in sheep, or I as in ship, or R as in far, or U as in good, or U as in shoot, or A as in up, or as in bird, or A as in teacher. You do, however, have problems pronouncing these ones like as in bed, a as in cat, o as in on, or as in door. Let's have a look at some of them in more detail. So let's look at the difference between and a. This is a common mispronunciation from South Asian language speakers. So don't say bed when you're trying to say bad. If you're trying to say bad, don't say bed. Don't say said if you're trying to say sad. Said, sad. Don't say dead if you're trying to say dad. Dead, dad. Don't say head if you're trying to say had. Head, had. Don't say lead if you're trying to say lad. Led, lad. And don't say red if you're trying to say something is rad, for example. Red, rad. So if you're trying to say he is a bad man, don't say he is a bedman. He is a bedman. This is the S sound. You want to make an A sound. He is a bad man. Not eh. Let's do another example here. She was very sad. No, you want to make sure you hit the A sound here. She was very sad. Let's do one more example here, the difference between and a in English. So if I want to say Max has black tracksuit pants, Don't say Mex has black tracksuit pants. Try to extend the sound of the eh to an s sound. Max has black tracksuit pants. Okay, that is good. Let's look at another one here. This time you're doing R versus or. R, or. R, or. Let's try and do some pronunciation fixing here. So don't say far when you're trying to say for. Far, for. Don't say tar if you're trying to say tor. Tar, tor. Don't say car if you're trying to say core. Car, core. Don't say cart if you're trying to say court. Cart, court. Or sometimes this one can be cot, court, cot, court. There's an issue there with the vowel sound. Let's keep going. Don't say part if you're trying to say port. Part, port. Don't say card if you're trying to say cord. Card, cord. Okay, let's look at some sentences here. So let me say it correctly first. So this is correct. Okay, this is, he bought a new cricket bat but was caught at short mid-wicket. I tried to make a cricket analogy here. He bought a new cricket bat but was caught at short mid-wickets. Don't say he bought a new cricket bat but was caught at short mid-wicket. Okay, or. That's the sound that you want to try to make. Let's push on. This time we're going to look at multi-vowel sounds. These are also called diphthongs. This is when you take two vowels and put them together like a. It almost has two vowel sounds together. So in English, we have more of these diphthongs, more of these multi-vowel sounds than your language. So let's practice saying them and try to articulate them correctly. So in green are the ones that you should be okay with. For example, ow as in cow, air as in hair, as in tourist, ear as in hear, ire as in fire, hour as in power. These all should be okay. You may have problems when pronouncing words like a as in wait, a, wait, I, my, oi, boy, oh, show. Okay, let's do some practice of these specific ones. We're going to look at the difference between and a, and a. So don't say red if you're trying to say raid. Red, raid. Don't say lead if you're trying to say laid. Lead, laid. Don't say plet if you're trying to say plate. Plet, plate. Don't say ven if you're trying to say vein. Ven, vein. Don't say radio if you're trying to say radio. Radio, radio. Don't say gret if you're trying to say great. Gret, great. A, a. Let's do some pronunciation practice here. So this time I'll read the incorrect first. Wet, concentrate. You need to go stret, but don't touch the wet pent and try not to fent. Try to say wait, concentrate. You need to go straight. Don't touch the wet paint and try not to faint. Just read this for me, please. Make sure you're doing the A sound, not the E sound. A. You have to, so A. This is a very Australian sound, I must say. Wait, mate. That's a very long A sound. Okay, let's push on. What about O versus O? O versus O. Let's have a look at some words here. Don't say hop if you're trying to say hope. O, 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 O. Don't say location if you're trying to say location. O, 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 O. Don't say phone if you're trying to say phone. O, 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 O. Don't say hotel if you're trying to say hotel. Hotel, hotel. O, 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 O. Don't say ocean if you're trying to say ocean. O, 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 O. Don't say remote if you're trying to say remote. Remote, remote. O, 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 O. Let's look at some sentences here. I'll read you the correct version first. So, I hope the location of the remote hotel will be near the ocean and have a phone. Hope, location, remote, hotel, ocean, phone. Don't say hop, location, remote, hotel, ocean, and phone. Okay? This would be considered wrong. Or not wrong, it's just more difficult to understand. There's actually no such thing as wrong pronunciation. It's not like one's better than the other. It's just that one is more easy to understand. If I'm a native English speaker, which I am, I'm going to understand you more easily if you pronounce these sounds accurately. So that's the difference there. Just makes it easier for me, actually. Oh, and I should say, by the way, if you're taking a test and the examiner or the computer is listening to you, then also that's important as well. Okay, let's look at some consonant sounds. So we've looked at the vowels, we looked at short vowels and long vowels. Now let's look at the consonant sounds. Just before you do, if you have not yet subscribed, do click that subscribe button, because what we're going to do next, after we go through the pronunciation, is I'm going to make some videos about grammatical issues you have in English if you're a South Asian language speaker when you're trying to write or speak in English, and the grammar issues you face. So do click that subscribe button for that video, which is coming up. Okay, here are the problem consonant sounds. So no problems with p, b, f, th, t, d, s, ch, k, g, m, n, l, r, j, and w. No problems. However, v, z, sh, j, j, and h. These ones we're going to focus on. Okay, this is a big problem if you're a South Asian language speaker. The difference between w and v. I see a lot of my students having problems making the v sounds. V. What it is, when you make the v sound, as in violin or violence or vomit, for example, two terrible words, is you have your top teeth on your bottom lip. V. And you make this humming sound with your throat there. Violin, violin, violin. A lot of, most of you, I would say violin, and you're making the sound with your lips. It's not a lip sound, it's teeth and lips together, teeth and lips together. So if you have a look at this emoji here, this is wrong. It's not violin, it's v with your, it's actually your top teeth on your bottom lip here, violin. Okay, let's do some practice of some individual words. So don't say wet if you're trying to say vet. Wet, vet. Don't say violence if you're trying to say violence. Violence, violence. It's such a small little difference, but it makes such a big difference if you get it wrong or right, okay? So for you, it might feel strange to say violence with your teeth on your top and your bottom lip. It feels weird, it feels awkward, it feels strange, but for my ear, it sounds perfect, okay? So you just have to do it and practice it. Feels weird for you, sounds perfectly good for me. Don't say violin, say violin. Violin, violin. Don't say wan, say van. Wan, van. Don't say vomit, say vomit. Vomit, vomit. Don't say very, say very. Very, very. Okay, let's do some sentences here, some tongue twisters if you like. So let me read the correct one. I visited the vet to vaccinate my vampire bat. I visited the vet to vaccinate my vampire bat. Okay, this is incorrect. I visited the vet to vaccinate my vampire bat. So try to do the v sound. Okay, let's push on to look at the difference between d and th. D and th. D and th. So apparently in your languages you have more d sounds than we do in English. We have problems pronouncing d. Apparently you have a sound where your tongue hits the front teeth and you say d, 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 d. We don't have that in English. So if I was speaking your language, I would struggle to do this. But the reverse is that you guys have problems with making the th sound. So let's do some practice of the th sound in English. So don't say dat if you're trying to say that. Dat, that. Don't say da if you're trying to say the. Da, the. Don't say dro if you're trying to say throw. Dro, throw. Don't say dink if you're trying to say think. Dink, think. It's strange. You're blowing air out. You're putting your tongue below your top teeth and pushing air. Think, think, think. Like that. Don't say dunder if you're trying to say thunder. Dunder, thunder. Don't say dumb if you're trying to say thumb. Dumb, thumb. Very small difference, but a very big difference. Here are some example sentences. Let's read this one. It's correct. 3,000 spears were thrown at the throne. 3,000 thrown the throne. Don't say 3,000 spears were thrown at the drone. Okay, I think this is the last consonants we're going to look at. D versus t. D and t. Okay, so don't say do if you're trying to say to. Do, to. Don't say datu if you're trying to say tattoo. Datu, tattoo. Don't say dickle if you're trying to say tickle. Dickle, tickle. I guess the difference here is d and t, t. D, 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 d. D is more at the back, t, 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 t is more at the front. It's a sharper sound. Don't say dold if you're trying to say told. Dold, told. Don't say dollarate if you're trying to say tolerate. Dollarate, tolerate. Don't say deem if you're trying to say team. Deem, team. Okay, let's look at some sentences here. So this is correct. I told the team to tolerate the terrifying tackles. I told the team to tolerate the terrifying tackles. This would be imprecise and difficult for a native speaker to understand. I told the team to tolerate the terrifying tackles. So you need to change that d sound to a t. Deem, team, tolerate, tolerate, terrifying, dackles, tackles. It's a very small difference, but you do need to practice this. Okie dokie, that is all from me. If you want to sign up to our free live classes for test preparation or for general English skills, including pronunciation, well, for test prep, check out e2language.com. That's a great website for PTE, IELTS, OET, and TOEFL. This website here is also awesome. It's for general English skills, and we also have a pronunciation course where you can sign up for free to improve your speaking skills. So check out e2language.com and e2school.com. You can actually sign up for both for free. Cool, I hope that was helpful. As I said before, it's a strange thing, pronunciation, because for you, it feels awkward, it feels strange, it feels wrong, it feels weird. But for me, the native English speaker, or for the examiner or the computer who's marking your speaking, it sounds good. And you need to try to shift your pronunciation from w to v, from d to t. Subtle, tiny little differences, but they make a big difference when you're actually speaking, when you're being understood. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. My name is Jay. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will see you soon.